Hello, Star Wars fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Starlight Podcast, and it is Mandalorian and Grogu week. Let's go. We're a cast member short today, Dag. Long live Daddy Sheev, John Bates.
I know.
We will rage bait each other in his stead. We will blow out our mics in his stead, and we will talk about specifically Zahir flying in his stead. So John Bates,
Jesus.
Daddy Sheev, we miss you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow. We're seeing the movie tomorrow together. But he won't be here for the pod. Dagovere, how we doing, fam?
Pretty good. I'm very glad that there's no one on this podcast that thinks Zahir can even be in the same freaking room as Toph. But hey, man, I'm so stoked to talk about Mandalorian and Grogu. And to get time, but we are ready, baby. Ready up.
Let's go. And let's start with that. Let's start with the Mandalorian and Grogu. There's been a lot of people that have already seen the movie, if I'm being completely honest. We had a bunch of people who have seen the movie via the world premiere in California at the Chinese Theater.
Yeah.
And also people who have gotten early screenings. Now,
I know.
I would love to go to an early screening. What's going on here?
Yeah, Fortnite's got that. They got the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you watch that or no?
No, I'm thinking about putting on my game, and then I don't know if it's still going on. Putting on my game, and then just like letting the character stuff because I want the actual like download page that I get in because it has the not the Nubian, it has the N1 fighter, and then it also has the Razor Crest, and then it also has the homestead that Mando and Grogu are chilling at. So I was like, yeah, I may have to do that, you know.
Yeah, may have to take a gander in there.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a lot of people have seen it. It's been mixed reviews. Yeah. Some people have said they loved it. Some people said that it's a little weaker. It's not very story driven. Just what do you think about all of that? There is a lot of discourse going on right now. Like, what do you think about all this discourse going on Twitter?
Yeah, because I'm almost 40 years old. I understand. I see the patterns. I'm ready for the hurricane season, so I got everything muted, so I don't have to deal with that discourse in the first place. But I can still smell it, see it, stench everywhere. It's like fucking ridiculous. In terms of like the mixed reviews, and I just think that's the current Star Wars state. Mm-hmm. But I genuinely believe if you were going into this movie, a movie, by the way, named The Mandalorian and Grogu, and thought it was going to give you Andor level depth and, new Jedi Order type of lore, I can honestly say you're probably just aren't understanding the current state of Star Wars and the projects. It's not that I just genuinely thought it was going to be another Skeleton Crew, maybe another season 1 type of deal. That's what I felt like the movie was always advertising. That's what I felt like the trailer was letting you know. John Favreau was always talking about how it's going to be for this new generation, yada, yada. Grogu is in the freaking title, man. He's going to be half the movie. So I don't know what exactly people were expecting, but I do expect the movie to be solid. I do. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. John Favreau is a freaking director. I feel like he doesn't miss, so I'm expecting it to be solid. So we'll see.
Grogu is in the movie and he can't speak, right? So he can't say words.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're going to get a ton of riveting dialogue from the creature who has no words, right?
Yeah.
Who only has cute noises and is there to do cute things and then use the Force and save the day. So it really is. It's like so silly to me that people are up in arms that it's not this riveting piece of cinema that's going to break boundaries and do all of these different things, because that's not what it is. And that's not what The Mandalorian has ever been outside of the relationship between Mando and Grogu. That is the best thing always about this show is their dynamic. And it really is just so silly to me that people go into these movies and with these expectations that it's going to be crazy like level of stuff. Maybe they just enjoy hating on it. Maybe they just enjoy the attention that they get for saying that something isn't good. But I don't think anybody had the expectations that this movie was going to be crazy. So it's going to be fun.
I would also argue that the fandom didn't really want it either. I would argue that too, because I felt like I think there was a lot of movies that were announced, especially in the last like 3 years or so.
Yeah.
and some of them may be shelved. Then you find out some of them got canceled. You didn't even know about the Ben Solo project that apparently was being in work and that was greenlit by everybody except for Disney because they're such huge fans. So I think that it's interesting. But I'll play devil's advocate here. And I was talking about this with some of my very few mutuals in real life, and they were talking about, well, Star Wars doesn't need to be big, and I was told them, I was like, you're wrong. Genuinely, like I think that you are wrong. I think Star Wars always needs to be some of the greatest experiences that you have in cinema. Okay. And if it's not doing anything in terms of entertainment, it needs to do something in terms of technology. I think that's what Star Wars stands for. That is my view, even though I told them that they were wrong, but I genuinely believe if you're not trying to make the best entertainment, the best media, why are you trying? But I am hyper competitive in these things, and I would say that I'm a radical in terms of like thinking about the Star Wars stuff. Mm-hmm. But I have never ever, with my view of that, directed my hatred toward another fan for enjoying a movie that I did not like. There's a guy that you may know that loves The Last Jedi. I'm talking to him right now. Do I love that movie? No, I do not love that movie, but I'm so happy for everybody that loves that fucking movie. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited for you all. Yeah. And I just don't understand how the fandom continuously eats it apart, because it's not something that has started with the sequel trilogy. It has been around since 2005. And what George Lucas says, it's been around since freaking 1980. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe this is the fandom.
People didn't like Empire. Like, people thought it was too divisive.
That's
people
crazy.
Thought that it was, they hated how it ended on the cliffhanger. Like, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's like, they're like, from what I've heard and from, like, I think I've seen articles and stuff like that of people just being upset about the movie that way. You know what I mean? It didn't end like they wanted to. It's just the same story over and over again with the prequels. Oh my God, the prequels aren't what you expected it to be. They were going a different route and, like, literally breaking boundaries with the way that it was filmed, which I do agree with you there, Dagovere. Like, Star Wars should be at the forefront of all of the technologically
100%.
advanced. But I think the stories don't have to be big. I think I like Star Wars stories that are grounded. Like, I think that, like, Skeleton Crew was super contained. It didn't have to play into this larger universe. I think there is a space for stories that something just was outside of my there was a big noise outside of my apartment. Jesus Christ.
It's the haters. They're coming for you.
Yeah,
How
right?
dare you like The Last Jedi?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's the fandom menace banging on my door.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, I think, like, I like grounded stories in Star Wars as well, but when it comes to the movies, it should be something that is spectacular to view at least. And who knows if we're going to get that? We haven't seen the movie, but I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be worth going to see in the movie theaters, and I think people are going... Yes. I think I'm going to, one, enjoy the hell out of seeing this movie in theaters. It's the first one in 7 years that we've been able to see. That's new, other than, like, the re-releases and stuff. It's going to, one, be super fun to watch, and I think we're going to look back on it fondly, because I'm going into it with basically zero expectation.
Yeah.
And I think that's how people should go into it.
Yeah, but I think that's also the thing too, is because I love this franchise so much. You know how much I love this franchise. Mm-hmm. We talk about stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about. And I think that there is also just a certain type of dilemma about how people just can't accept reality. And I don't think it's a bad thing, because I think you should dream big, and I think that you shouldn't settle, for what the world is trying to give you and things like that. And there's a lot of people out there that I think are very level-minded that say, well, at least you're getting this. At least you're getting this. And I hear you, but I don't think it's a wrong thing to dream big and hope that every single movie of the franchise you love the most delivers.
Right.
But I also think there is a huge disconnect in the fandom. I would argue some of these people aren't fans at all, because all they do is hate, And I think that when it gets to a point like that, I'm not necessarily sure it's love anymore for a franchise. It seems like something else,
Obsession.
And in the wrong way.
Yeah.
In the wrong way. But Disney, we've critiqued Disney a lot. We've critiqued stuff. It's, Lucasfilm obviously is the same, but very different now because of the whole hierarchy that's going on, with Disney and everything else. They're not the same. George Lucas isn't there. So it's a complete different entity than it was when George was there. And that's understandable because they own it. Right. But at the same time, too, like, I just feel like at the end of the day, Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dead. I can never agree with that, no matter whatever people are saying or however many shows XYZ, not to name any, that come out. You're always going to be talking about it because 1 through 6 exist, or even The Force Awakens and Rogue One, Andor. There's still Maul Shadow Lord. There's still bangers happening. The Vader comics. Shadow. We talk about all these things. I just if it's not for you anymore, it's not for you anymore, and it's okay. I just think that there's a very fine line between critiquing and hatred, and I think a lot of people don't understand that what they're doing is not critiquing.
It really is fine for you to be disappointed with a movie. It really is fine for you to dislike a movie. It really is fine for you to realize, hey, this movie's not for me. But it's not fine to go out and spread hatred. It's okay to say, hey, didn't like this movie, didn't like this, and this about it. But it's not okay to say, hey, you're worse because you did like that movie. You're this, and that because you think
you're the reason why everything is shit.
Right, yeah.
It's your fault.
Yes, like
insane.
Star Wars is...
What do you say fuck me for?
Yeah,
That's what I think every time, bro.
Yeah, it really is. And I've said this before, I love the saying that Star Wars is a buffet, right? This is a different meal than Maul Shadow Lord. This is a different meal than Andor. This is a different meal than even like the saga movies, right? Like this is a different, something different on your plate. It's okay if you don't like it. It's okay if, it's not your favorite thing, but like, just let it be then, you can critique it. You can, say how things you think would be improving, but it's just, it mostly is the way that you say things. It's the way that you deliver things, and it's what you do, because I'm Dagovere, I've been grinding threads, right? Posting threads, interacting with people on threads. And I posted a thread today that said, I'm not worried about these mid reviews from Mandalorian and Grogu. I think it's going to be fun. That's the expectation that I'm going into it. And so many people are in my comments echoing that positivity, but also saying, like, hey, this is the first time I'm going to be able to take my daughter to see a Star Wars movie. This is the first time I'm going to be able to, have my family go to a Star Wars movie together. It's been 7 years. You know how much has changed in 7 years with people? Like, you could have a 7-year-old who has never been able to go to the movie theater and is totally locked in on Star Wars. And that is why I love this fandom so much. Because they're going to be able to go in there tomorrow, Friday, this weekend, whenever, sit in a movie theater, which a lot of people don't do these days because the landscape has changed with streaming and all of this other stuff going on. Different. They're going to be able to sit there, get their Mandalorian and Grogu popcorn bucket, get their big soda that is too much sugar for them as 7-year-olds, and they're going to watch the movie and enjoy the hell out of it. They're going to see everything on the big screen. They're going to see explosions. They're going to see Mando being cool as hell. They're going to see Rod of the Hutt. They're going to see all these different people, and it's going to be their favorite memory of Star Wars that they have. When they're having podcasts 20 years from now and they're saying, my first memory as a Star Wars fan is going to see The Mandalorian and Grogu. That to me is what gives me chills and why I love this fandom, and why I think that if you spread hatred in the fandom, like you said, Dagovere, maybe you're not really a fan.
Yeah, I think it gets to a point at there where the love turns into something more sour, and I talk about this all the time. I'm just a freaking broken record player at this point. But I talk about how I saw Revenge of the Sith. I saw it all. I grew up with the prequel trilogy. Revenge of the Sith came out when I was a sophomore year of high school, and everybody was always talking about that movie was ass. Hayden Christensen sucks. Jar Jar Binks is the worst character of all time, blah, blah. He's the wasted character. What is George doing? He needs to sell Star Wars. He's going to remake 4, 5, and 6. He destroyed my childhood. Anybody that loves the prequels doesn't understand it destroyed Star Wars. This is stuff that was omnipresent, guys. Like, all the time, everywhere. And it wasn't really until I was like searching YouTube comments in like 2011 where I found people that said things like, I thought Hayden Christensen's portrayal was perfect for Anakin. And I was like, well, wow, I did not know I was, I was like, really? Yeah, you know? And it's so funny because I have a cousin who's like freaking 60 years old, you know, and he talks about, you know, seeing Star Wars and everything in the 90s and how there was like no expanded universe. And when the Thrawn books came out, it was just like, oh my God, Star Wars is back.
So cool.
You know, it's not dead and everything else. Then the prequels came out, and he was also someone that sort of liked the prequels and then didn't really like Hayden and everything. So it's interesting to see how he also liked The Last Jedi, you know? I think that's so interesting.
Go.
Yeah, it's such a weird, you know, dynamic of I like the OT, but then I also like this one movie, you know. And it's nice to see that. And all of the people that I've met in real life, minus one person, have been so cool. Mm-hmm. All this shit on the internet, man, is just on the internet. Like genuinely, like on the internet. The people that I've surrounded myself with and I've talked to, maybe they fucking like The Acolyte, you know, or maybe they like this. And even if they don't like the same shit I don't like, they ain't saying that these new fans and influencers are fake ass fans, which is so crazy, bro. You know, these people used to be like us. Genuinely, you know, and to say like if I get big all of a sudden and I get 100,000 on YouTube one day and I get invited out, am I the fucking shill now? You know, everything else, like, it's just like fucking crazy. You guys have seen my reactions and shit. All of a sudden now, oh, that guy, he's never read New Jedi or he doesn't know anything about Revan. And like, what the? I just don't understand, man. Are we just like haters because we're not there,
right?
Or are we haters because, you know, we didn't like a certain amount of movies? I don't know. I think we lost the plot, genuinely.
I think we have lost the plot too. And yeah, like even in like you just said, Dagovere, you get 100,000 subs, right? People start questioning, can you do this? Can you do that? Honestly, it doesn't even matter if you know about Revan. It doesn't even matter if you know about any of this stuff, because if you like one movie, if you like one book, if you like one comic panel, you're a Star Wars fan, right? And if you don't spread hatred and you're not a jerk, you're a Star Wars fan. Like, it is so insane that people think that people who have built a platform off of their love for Star Wars aren't Star Wars fans. Like, a lot of us that make content, that make videos, that interact with people online, we are in that space more than anybody, basically. We live and breathe this shit. We live it. Because we like it. Yeah, do you think that we would be doing this? Do you think, Dagovere, after a long day of work, me and you would sit here, record a podcast, and post it, and clip it, and do all these different stuff if we didn't enjoy talking about it? If we didn't enjoy Star Wars, if we didn't enjoy watching Star Wars, talking about Star Wars, listening to Star Wars, like, it really is just insane to me that people think that way.
Man, I'm about to crash out. Honestly, I'm about to crash out, bro. I did not have any friends to eat lunch with, you know, outside of a few of them. And I've told you guys, you know, one of my best friends, he's gone. He's buried 6 feet under. He's gone, you know, and that's one of the only persons that experienced stuff with me in high school. The other person was online. You know, that was it. I do not understand the idea of how everybody all of a sudden that has a camera, that has a social media platform, is being paid by Disney. I do this shit for the love of the fucking game, man. I went back in the fucking day and I was playing Knights of the Old Republic, and I would tell people, I was one of those fucking shitty ass fans that was like, you like Ahsoka? Yeah. Okay, who's her master? Yeah. Oh, you like Revan? Okay, what character did you play? What class? Did you play Knights of the Old Republic too? You know who Trey was? You're not a real fan. I was one of those assholes. You know, I was, genuinely. But what I think what happened was I consistently saw how someone like me was treated against the regular, like the movie only fan base of like, oh, you liked Hayden Christensen? Well, he's dog shit, and so are you, you know? And then I saw new generation fans, because I liked The Force Awakens. I thought The Force Awakens at the time was one of the best Star Wars movies. And The Last Jedi came out, and I was pretty freaking butthurt. I was very upset about that movie, but whatever, you know, we get past it. But then I saw other people who genuinely like this movie. And I just saw myself. I saw myself. I saw Attack of the Clones, Lord Dagovere, that really enjoyed Anakin going out in the Tatooine sun and doing things. And I saw people hating that fan, you know, and that did not sit well with me for a while, you know. And I think over time that I genuinely started to realize all these new fans were coming in, you know, in the sequel trilogy. And it's really terrifying because it's almost like a breakup at times because, yes, the story is no longer the story that I grew up with. But I still got 40 years of all this shit that isn't going anywhere that I really enjoy. And then there's new projects that I really like, too. And it's okay. It's okay if the new kid on the block or the brand new child that comes in and says, hey, this is my room now. Mom said it's time to get off the Xbox. You know, whatever, bro. You know, fine. I don't have a problem with it as anywhere near as much as I used to. And I just cannot stand the idea of people taking away other people's happiness because they're fucking miserable.
Yeah. It really does bother me. Like when I was seeing that, I honestly was like laughed about it. I really just like laughed about it. I was like, this is insane that people are taking shots at other fans because they're featured in a video by Disney. They got invited to this premiere that probably if Disney invited you to go see the premiere of The Mandalorian and Grogu, I think
you would go.
That you would go. Right? Would you not go?
I think you would go. I think there's a lot of people that would go, you know? I don't like The Last Jedi, but if you're inviting me out to The Last Jedi, I'm going to be so effing excited. I may not have loved the movie, but I'm not going to be an asshole to everybody else that enjoys that thing, you know? That they're going to some of these people are going to fucking die. They're not going to be here ever again. They're never going to get invited ever again. You know, I'm not going to ruin that experience for them for the rest of their life. You know, this is stuff that people really enjoy. This is not just a regular franchise. This is Star Wars. People love this shit all over the world. Guys, girls, blue, green, orange, whatever freaking color and race you are, everybody gets together. They freaking love it, you know? And I just cannot stand how intoxicating this negativity is consistently when any new project comes out. It doesn't matter if it's Skeleton Crew, Jedi Adventures, High Republic animation stuff, you know, or whatever. It's just like all of a sudden Star Wars dead, and it's the worst thing ever, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Just enjoy what you enjoy, right? Just enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah, that's it.
Try to spread positivity because somebody else's favorite project is your least favorite project, and so in your least favorite project, you know what I mean? Like someone that maybe your favorite project is someone else's least favorite project, and if you brought it up and you want someone to just shit on you and call you a terrible person, like no, nobody. These people don't flip each other and put themselves into other people's shoes. So like I like one of my oh geez. Did I just?
You're good.
Did I? All right. Okay.
You're good.
One of my friends in college, her introduction to Star Wars was The Mandalorian. First thing they've ever seen, The Mandalorian. So like now,
fantastic to get into.
Now I look back, I'm sure they are like, I'm sure she's super excited for this Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Like it's just, you know, you never know where people get dropped into the fandom.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's also crazy to me too because like, you know, my stuff obviously was the prequels. So I'm an Anakin Skywalker diehard fan, bro. He's my boy. But a lot of new generation fans hate Anakin Skywalker, you know? Yeah. And so then they hate Knights of the Old Republic because guess what? All the people that are hating on new Star Wars love the Old Republic, you know? And they got Revan profile pictures, you know? So I'm always taking a beating, it seems like, from all sides of the fandom, you know? But that is not going to ruin my perception of the franchise and allow me to take away this person's favorite thing. Yo, you like Grogu? Man, yeah, I like Grogu too. I can talk about Baby Yoda, you know, whatever. Yeah. And it was always fun for me to find someone that had that surface level experience of the franchise and then dip them into something more, like a Darth Plagueis novel, you know, or a video game, you know, or the mini series for Clone Wars and stuff like that. And then you could really see that every single casual fan had the potential to be a hardcore, you know, and that is why I loved Star Wars. It was just, I talked one day, hey, Lord Dagovere, I heard about this guy, Exar Kun, and apparently he was like this spirit, and he attacked Luke Skywalker. I'll tell you some shit. And then that's it. Became best friends.
There we are.
And that was like the experience. It was like, gather around, kids. Lord Dagovere's telling the story, and it's so fun. And that's what Star Wars discussion is to me. Not this whatever's happening these days.
Agreed. 100% agreed. I do have beef though with Darth Vectivus. God, I just kept getting called out on my.
You want to talk about that?
This was
talk about that?
Just real quick. This was like the least cold. This is like the least hot. This is the coldest take I've ever had. Like literally, like the most non-consequential take I've ever had is just like answering a comment. It was like, "Can you be a Sith Lord and still be good?" And I was like, no, you can't.
No.
And then everybody started, actually not everybody, only a select few people started pulling up Darth Vectivus. Oh, what about Vectivus? What about Darth Vectivus? Let me raise you Darth Vectivus. And I'm like, bro, if someone says Darth Vectivus again, I'm literally going to crash out and delete my account.
Yeah. It's so funny because I feel like anyone that says Darth Vectivus probably hasn't read the books that he's mentioned in, and he's only ever mentioned in 2 books. There's 2 stories, and it's the Darth Plagueis novel, and then it's also the one with Lumaya and Jason Solo. And I think it's so interesting because the only 2 people that are talking about a Darth Vectivus are 2 Sith Lords, and the entire ideology about this guy when he's first telling you is, of course, to Jason Solo, because Lumaya is trying to corrupt him and turn him to the dark side. So she's skewing the information about, well, technically he was just a businessman, and it's okay to do some bad things every once in a while because you're not a bad person, Jason. You're not a bad person. And then I think even the Darth Plagueis novel mentions him that, he actually just like died really happy around all of his family or something like that. But there's 2 stories, and I think it's hilarious. Yeah, I think it's hilarious that some of the worst people Darth Plagueis and Lumaya, the Dark Lady, right? And they're telling you this guy is great. It's going to be great. He's great, And I just think it's hilarious how so many other people are sitting there and they're defending this guy who's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Who's a business owner who is using the dark side and uses the title of Darth, which means he had an understanding of the Sith religion, which is evil. But you know about it, if you understand you're about that life, and he's taking the Darth title, and he's summoning the dark side of the Force. He's tapping into the dark side, which is a drug, which is corruption. And I think it's hilarious how so many people consistently bring him up because somebody on the internet made a video that the one good Sith, which is also wrong, because I feel like they're also falling for the lie of what Lumaya is telling Jason Solo.
Yeah, it's just so funny because if I don't know something, I immediately go to you, and that's exactly what you told me. You're like, someone said he was a good Sith, right? And I was like, yeah. But yeah, I that actually did rage bait me. I had a couple people call me Disney shill in the past 24 hours. Terrible rage bait. But when people start naming Darth Vectivus, that's when you get me. All right, Dagovere, give us some knowledge. That was a little bit of knowledge from Darth Vectivus there, but
yes, it was a little bit of knowledge. Yes, but I think at the same time too, that's why the story is so compelling. Is you're supposed to feel for Jason. You're supposed to be deceived, and that is why the story is so good because it's the trick of the dark side. It wants you to tap into it. It wants you to use it because it's slowly corrupting the good person you are. That's the entire point. Mm-hmm. That's the tragedy of Anakin. That's the tragedy of Jason Solo. It's everything, and I think that's what why Star Wars is so great. So, and now it's time for some more knowledge. Unlock the knowledge. All right, so I did a video back in like 2020. And the video was about a potential Mandalorian movie. Interesting. So I dug up the source that I had dug, and it was actually a Variety article back from 2020. Okay. And back in the day, that's where I was like, I had no friends, so I was just like doing content like every freaking day and stuff. And this was one of the things I popped up because Mandalorian was on a hot streak back then. It was 2019, so Mandalorian season 1, the season 2 was going to be coming out soon. We were going to go crazy, and I think what's interesting is that Jon Favreau is in this interview, and they were talking about WandaVision and how one of the characters from a movie comes into a TV and it comes to a TV series on Disney Plus, and they were like, "Hey, is it possible that we can see something like that, but with the Mandalorian in reverse, and the Mandalorian on the big screen?" And Favreau was talking about, "Hey, the line is blurring now. Things that you've only seen in movie theater, you're now seeing on the streaming app, and I think you could go either way as well." But we're definitely open to the idea, that he added. And then he says, "We're excited to see where the story leads us and have that flexibility because there's no rule book. Technology is always offering new opportunities to tell stories in a fresh way. And it's very exciting. It's a very exciting time doing this. And I feel grateful that we are able to work remotely because of the nature of the technology that we're dealing with." So COVID production. So we're continuing to try to move forward and keep the ball rolling, even though it's been a challenging time for everyone. And then he also says at the end here, "I think that the work is so beautiful that I would love for that to be held on the big screen experience one day." And so the article just going on talking about how the potential of seeing Mando on the big screen, which I think is so crazy because that's 2020. And I always talk about how production is like literally happening all the time. And it takes a while. I don't think people understand that even something like Starfighter and Shadow Lord is still a Kathleen Kennedy project. Right. So it's going to be a couple of years until we finally see whatever is happening post Kathleen Kennedy. So I think Mando and Grogu goes exactly into what KK was trying to do and everything else, and I think that speaks loudly about the Mandalorian in general and what the purpose of that movie was. Future stuff, Skeleton Crew right up there as well. So I think it fits the bill, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool to see him talk about that in 2020, and we're now 6 years later, and you're finally realizing that, because that, like, looking back, it's kind of a leap that Star Wars took to be able to do a live action TV show on streaming only, and it was kind of the perfect storm for them to kind of they hit the nail on the head right there. Like, it's Star Wars was not in a great place when the Mandalorian was premiering. Like, it wasn't in a great place, and that shot it into the stratosphere and made Star Wars back to peak what everybody was talking about, for a good reason. Obviously, the other movies, the previous movies that had released, had been in mostly contentious conversations, whether it's for or against the movies. It is cool to kind of see that character make such an impact that now he's now on the big screen, and it is the Mandalorian and Grogu, and I think it was maybe the most impactful decision for Star Wars, for Disney Star Wars, to create Grogu, to create Mandalorian, and it's such a hit that I have a plushie here over my shoulder. Like that is, everybody knows who Grogu is. Everybody knew who Baby Yoda was. He is everywhere. It's Grogu capitalism. We talked about this many times on the podcast, that you cannot escape Grogu, and you will never escape Grogu. But it is super cool to see that come to fruition, especially for something that was 6 years in the making. Which is, it's just incredible, and it does show how much of a process it is that it takes that long.
And I think it's also interesting to see how much studios can be manipulated by other entities as well. Which of course that we know Disney is no stranger to changing things or wanting to change things and move things. But I think it'll be hilarious if this movie makes more than 500 million in the box office.
Yeah.
I think it would also be crazy if it does really good in Asia because of Grogu.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. We'll see. I just think, listen, if you're a parent out there and your kid comes up and says, "Mommy, Daddy, I want to go see Baby Yoda," you're effed.
You're going. You're going, and you're opening Pandora's box, and soon your kid's going to be talking about Darth Vectivus in my comment section. That's how you know that you're taking a leap of faith going to see the Mandalorian and Grogu, because I have heard that this movie is, very, casual friendly. It's very maybe you haven't seen any of The Mandalorian, and it's still fine to be able to go and see this.
It is amazing. Come on, I'm rewatching it again. I rewatch it a lot, actually. Like, genuinely, I rewatch The Mandalorian a lot because it's one of my favorite series, and that first season is so good. The second season is so good.
Yes,
I really love it, dude.
The first season too, because I rewatched the first season recently. It is just like banger after banger after banger, and the first scene in the entire show is arguably one of the best. Where he shows up, it's that trailer that we got where the doors open, he's just standing there, and he's like, I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold. Like, come on, man! Like that's the tone that they set, and they kept through it for most of season 1 and through season 2.
I need more of that. I really need more of that.
Yeah, just being a badass and being a Western. Like I think that's the best part of The Mandalorian is one, the relationship between the two, but also the fact that it's a Western. It's spaghetti Western. It's a little bit. It's a little bit. You know, he'll say the cheesy one-liner and it'll work because he's the Mandalorian. Like it is really cool.
Yeah, man, that's fucking crazy, dude. I love that show. I remember that it was like a whole different era of my life. Like I just felt like I got a second chance out of so many things, and The Mandalorian had come out, so it was just like I felt like a new life. Yeah. So 2019 was like a crazy year for me because of The Mandalorian and stuff. And man, just I miss the beginning of that. It was so cool. It was so like every episode was like so mysterious. I was like, what are they gonna do? Oh my God.
It really was. There was like a sense of awe within that. Yeah. So, and that's when I first started to create content too. Was like around that 2019 time. So
that was a big time, dude.
That was peak Star Wars TikTok as well. Everybody had Lego Star Wars profile pictures, and
I remember
every other TikTok was this.
Yes.
Pointing up to some text, and then
I hated that. I blocked everybody that did that shit. Low effort ass mofos, get out of my For You page. You're not supplying anything to me. Get out.
Oh, what a time! What a time!
You know what I remember was one of my like it was like I think it started the whole memorabilia thing when give me a second. That was like I don't know if you remember. But it was a whole trend where people were like listening to some song and they had like a clone trooper or a stormtrooper hat on, and they kept going like this with their Lego or something, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like I was like up at like 4:00 in the morning, like watching those trends.
It was peak, and that's what created Star Wars TikTok. It was built from. It was built on the backs of low-effort content creators. Yes. It was so good, man. Yeah, it really was. Let's go.
I miss that like innocent time. I feel like where everybody was just kind of vibing and chill, you know. But I think you could still have that experience, you know. Like I was talking about on Twitter the other day with a lot of the little people on there that are in the circle, you know, that everybody gets invited to stuff except for me. I'm just the odd one out right now. But I was talking about how when you find that positive creator, just keep them close because, man, it's so different. You know, really it's so different. The experience is different.
Yeah, it is cool, and I mean, that's how we connected. You were interacting with our stuff. You were DMing. We were DMing between each other, and you messaged me on Discord, and I didn't answer because I didn't have Discord notifications on. And now
I'm used to being left on red. So.
But now we're having a podcast, so
man.
Yeah, it's very cool. So now I want to introduce my segment. So it was just basically there's a lot of projects that have been coming up, a lot of projects announced, a lot of projects being talked about positively and negatively. Maul Shadow Lord, Mandalorian and Grogu. We've got some upcoming stuff, Ahsoka Season 2. So I want to pose this question to our audience too. So in the comments below, let us know what you're thinking. You can only keep 2 of these upcoming Star Wars projects. What would it be? And I have 5 projects, so I'm very curious to see what your decision is, Dagovere. 1, Mandalorian and Grogu. We haven't seen it yet, right? 2, The Ninth Jedi, which I know is very close to your heart. 3, Ahsoka Season 2, which is your favorite show.
Yeah.
4, Starfighter, and 5, Maul Shadow Lord Season 2. Bunch of bangers, but you can only watch 2 of them. You can only keep 2 of them. What do you think?
You're an asshole?
Yeah. Yes.
You're an asshole.
Yes, valid.
Yeah, this is not fun. Okay, so right off the bat, Maul Shadow Lord 2, for sure. That's definitely in there. That's just too good. I love the direction of that. To be made. Yeah. No. Man. Ninth Jedi.
Ninth Jedi. Wow.
Ninth Jedi.
No Starfighter?
Yeah. So here's the thing. If Ahsoka is my favorites, but if I have to drop stuff to get new potential and stories that are going in directions that I like, I will do that. Mm-hmm. Starfighter hasn't even been birthed yet, so it doesn't exist right now. So I have no, outside of the hype, which is in my own head, there's nothing. The stock doesn't even exist at this moment.
Wow.
So I can delete that, Now I hate that because I think that movie's going to be peak.
Yeah.
But Ahsoka Season 2, I love Ahsoka, even with all of its flaws. But I also don't know what direction that's going into. I don't know if it's going to bring out Abeloth. I don't know if the choreography is going to be better. I don't know if the writing is going to be better. I don't know if Thrawn is going to be exactly what I want. There's a lot of question marks with that. But I know what I know.
Yeah.
And I'm picking Ninth Jedi, and I'm picking Maul Shadow.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love that. That. My list, maybe it would be more fair if we said you could only keep 3. But
Then I'm keeping Ahsoka. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Then I'm keeping Ahsoka. Yeah.
But for the original question, for me, I'm picking Starfighter. I am keeping Starfighter.
That's cool.
I think I want to see new. I want to see new Star Wars, and it's in the theater, and it's Ryan Gosling, and everything that we've seen so far has looked like very good.
Very good.
Not that we've seen that much, but it looks like really fun and really cool. Yeah. And Tom Cruise is choreographing a fight. Like, every little inkling that we've had from this movie has sucked me in and has gotten me super excited. And it's in the movie theater, which I think gives it gives it a level of aura that a TV show cannot.
Yeah.
And then my second choice, because I really want to go with the Ninth Jedi, but I really want to go with Maul Shadow Lord too. It's
Maul Shadow Lord is peak, bro. I'm sorry, it's to the main thing. Like it's too good. It's too good not to, man. Yeah. I also want it for Sam Witwer. I also need it for Athena, who's also a big person behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know. I do though, and I think that they are very key components to Star Wars storytelling, and I think they need to be given more responsibility, especially Sam. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
wacky these days.
I'm gonna go Maul Shadow Lord. I think the fact that it also has the best portrayal of Vader from season 1. I can't imagine that we're going to get. I can't imagine what we're going to get in season 2 when it comes to Vader, when it comes to even Palpatine. Like, it's just gonna go up a level in quality. It'll go up a level in quality at the animation, but also the story is now just building upon itself. Where season 1 introduction, we are learning about all these characters. We are getting the foreground, like the background of all of this stuff. But now we're gonna hit the ground running. We already have had so much happen that we're just gonna keep building on it. So that is what I would choose. So I'd choose a movie and I'd choose a show. I'd go Starfighter and then I'd go Maul Shadow Lord season 2.
Yes.
God, that would be that's gonna be so peak. And it's gonna be what, 2027 or 2026? When are we getting Starfighter? 2026?
2027. Next year.
Okay. Yes, next year.
Which I think is interesting because I wonder if Ahsoka and Starfighter are going to be coming out around the same time.
unless they push
Does
it.
Starfighter have a May release date?
I don't think it has a release date yet.
Okay. So that could come out holiday then.
One of them's going to come out Christmas. I think it should.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I like it.
That's
okay. I'm digging it. Yeah. All right. But now I need to get announcements for other projects, another live action project or something, because what's happening in 2028? What are we doing? I gotta know.
I know. Mark your calendars.
Oh, yeah, man.
Swagman. We'll go to the premieres, we promise.
Yeah. I might be heading to Celebration, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. I got the dyad looking for tickets for me, actually.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm not joking. Yeah.
God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I saw.
Who knows?
Shout out Dyad. I saw Chaco post a video today. It was fantastic. New format. God, I love listening to him talk Star Wars. And Element has just been cooking as well.
All the time. Yeah.
Pep is always has been consistently posting videos, and they're always
he's out there. He's taking the shots, taking the punches.
He's on the front lines.
He's been on the front lines since like day 0 of TikTok.
Very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Dyad. I would love to go to Star Wars Celebration and see you there, Dag. But yeah,
we will see.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking, we'll close it out here. Little 2-minute warning action, and this is maybe less of a question and more just a discussion between us, because we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we've talked about premieres. We've talked about how Disney has and Star Wars have been inviting people out to different things, and recently there was a video specifically for the new Mandalorian and Grogu experience for Smuggler's Run, where Pedro Pascal was in the Mandalorian armor, surprised a bunch of creators. Oh,
yeah.
No. Oh no, am I frozen? Am I frozen for you too?
You are.
Oh,
Sorry, no. we got the second one.
Jeez, dude, I really don't know why this happens. It just like loses power.
It just can't handle the hype.
I know. Oh my god, I'm getting absolutely mogged by you, bro. Jeez, I hate this so much. But what I was saying was. There we go. Disney has been inviting people out for different premieres, and there was a video with Pedro Pascal where he surprised a bunch of fans that were there to test out the new Smuggler's Run experience, the new Mandalorian Smuggler's Run, and people have been hating on this video because they are inviting out quote unquote influencers, and influencers are not considered real fans by these people. They're considered shills, and they're considered not the type of people that they should be platforming and giving these different experiences to, and we are in that sphere, right? We make Star Wars content every single day.
Technically, yeah.
Every single day, we are quote unquote Star Wars influencers, and
imagine.
Yeah. So I'm just curious to hear your thoughts, and this is more of a discussion about that culture of people just like viciously tearing down these content creators.
It is what it is, man. I was telling you on podcasts, I feel like people like to see you do good, but they don't want to see you do better than them. And I think that rings true as in anything that you do. It's cool that you're getting success, but when you start getting so much success that you're being rewarded for your success, I just think that people can't handle it. I think it's also really shitty to assume that every single person that gets invited to these things is disingenuous. I have never really met Luke as a person, and we see Luke in his work all the time, and I wouldn't see him as like a fake fan. I think he's one of the biggest fans, actually. I think that's why he's dedicated himself so much to creating content and stuff like that. And I take a lot of offense to it too, because you can go and watch all my reactions and see how upset and how excited I get for this stuff. And people think I'm disingenuous. And I think it's hilarious because the funny thing is I'm holding myself back from being too fucking excited because of people like you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like that. It's like Tropic Thunder, you know, don't go full Dagovere, you know. That's exactly how I feel it is. Genuinely. Don't do that. When people see you too excited and your mask is off, they're not going to like it, you know, especially when you're being invited to something like the Pedro Pascal thing. I get it. It's not with regular people who are there, you know? But even if those regular people were there, you would be talking about how Star Wars is woke or how it's too expensive or they should have done the original trilogy stuff. There's always something to nitpick. You know, and I think that's also the really shitty part because it doesn't matter what Star Wars does. They're always going to lose. And that's why I just think that they should just ignore and just keep doing what they're doing because people are going to hate you anyway. So you might as well be yourself.
Yes.
You know,
100%. I really think it is silly for people to try to tear down these creators that are being asked and invited and, you know, to do these really cool things. And I think it is crazy that someone someone thinks that if they are creating content about Star Wars and they've dedicated so much time to creating content about Star Wars and Disney and all of this stuff, that they are disingenuous themselves. Yeah. They started creating content when they had 0 followers. There was nothing. Yeah. That's what
cameras look
did.
worse than Connor's right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like,
just joking.
No, I know, but it really is like we talk about this on the podcast for the love of the game, right? We make no money from this. We, you know, really.
I got a free game once.
Yeah,
I got a free game once. I don't know who it was. It was whoever remade the Boba Fett game, the Jango Fett game, but I replied on Twitter and I was like, I would like a free copy. She is gorgeous to me, you know, and that's it. That's how I got in, you know. I got a couple books for the High Republic. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't get paid for anything. I've never gotten paid for anything. So
no, and people don't understand it, and people say anything positive about Disney that they're shills and that, you know, they don't deserve this and that. So it just is frustrating. It's a little bit silly to be saying those things where everybody can see it, because it's a lot of times it seems like you are a little bit jealous of the success.
Envious, but I also wonder if it's like a core issue with the person themselves, because I did see the comments on TikTok and it was like, oh, it's just influencers. Oh, and it made me feel like it was like one person said it and then everybody was copying that one person said it, and then, you know, it's cool to hate influencers, and I get it. Like, to a lot of people, content creation is not a real job. You know, I wouldn't say that what I'm doing is hard work. I'm just getting in front of a microphone. But I don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers or millions of subscribers and getting a shit ton of money. You know, They live by that, and that's what they're doing. I don't think maybe Luke is, or maybe Luke isn't, whatever. But maybe it's just like a whole, like, I go to work every single day, I commute and I do these things. All you do is talk about this. Is that really a job? Maybe it's something like that they're upset about, which I can understand. Sure, you know, but I think hating on the person and calling them like a fraud or like a fake, you know, because they got invited by a company to, you know, to just show this new marketing thing. I feel like that's what marketing is. I feel like that's what they're supposed to do, is, you know, get people excited for stuff. And I think it's a great honor for someone like Luke, who's literally every freaking day he's talking about Star Wars like us. And he gets to meet Pedro Pascal in the freaking Mandalorian armor, bro. Yeah. You know, I do think, though, I agree with the part of like what they were saying is that they should be doing it with regular guests inside the park. That would be cool as shit, you know. Yeah. But I don't see an issue with like what they did. I just don't see the issue, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
And from what I understand, a lot of those people who were invited to the Mandalorian and Grogu premiere, like, they're just like, hey, come out to the premiere. I live in Philadelphia. If I wanted to go to the premiere, I would have had to purchase a flight and go down there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're paying for all of these people to come out and and support the Mandalorian and Grogu. They're not paying people for reviews.
But people aren't putting that together though. They're thinking
Right.
Disney and they think big bucks and they're thinking everybody's getting paid hundreds of dollars, $1,000 for venue, $1,000 for flights, first class, things like that. That's what the whole idea is. But people don't do what we do, and that's the whole thing too. I would have never got sent out to me in the 4 or 3 weeks that I got sent out. I had to make a whole freaking pitch deck and get someone in DMs, and then they got annoyed of me fucking sending them so much that they said, okay, thank you, and they haven't sent me anything out after that. So it's just about, I really feel like it's just a marketing thing, man. It's like you go out and you find people who are going to market the product correctly, who have a certain brand sense and can do things correctly. All right, let's bring that guy. Let's bring this person. Okay, that's it. We hit the budget. Okay, and these people are going to meet Pedro Pascal. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But fuck Disney, I guess. And, Disney and Star Wars is woke. So, yeah, I get it. Whatever, dude.
Star Wars is dead.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry, my
dead.
bad. My bad.
Come on now. You're talking about people who get to go meet it's not dead if you're talking like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I just, I'm not going to be that way. I'll talk shit about, my rivalry in sports, for football and soccer and stuff like that. But it's not like I hate this person. How dare this person,
Right.
I don't know. It's just,
I agree.
I don't know, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sorry about the Spurs.
Sunday, we're staying up. All right, we need a draw or a win, or we need a draw or a West Ham loss. So
Staying up? What? I thought it was only at 11 a.m.
No, I'm saying Spurs have to.
Oh, staying up.
Spurs
We're
have
not
to
getting
stay up,
relegated.
and they don't.
Okay.
If they don't get if they
Yeah.
draw or West Ham loses,
Yeah.
then they won't get relegated. But they haven't won at home since December, so
Oh, Jesus.
they're at the bottom of the table for a reason.
Who are we playing? Who are you guys playing?
Everton.
And was that better than the other team that we have played? Is that good? Is that a good team?
Everton is worse than Chelsea, but Chelsea's team was terrible and they still lost. So who knows? It doesn't really matter who they're playing. It just depends on how they decide to play. So
brother, we might see history.
I know we might be cooked. So
Oh my God, Connor.
and follow the Starlight Soccer Podcast.
Yeah, follow Starlight Pro Clubs. We got promoted. We're gonna go to League One in a little bit, so get ready, baby.
Lock in.
We may have to watch that. But you're at the wedding shit, right?
It'll be Sunday. I think I might be going to like a pub or something to watch it. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Damn,
We'll
I was
see.
like, fuck, we'll just have a watch party, bro.
I know that I would actually be like
Yeah,
hilarious to watch that match, bro.
Like me crashing out, like me, yeah.
Yeah, I would be crashing out. But yeah, so
I don't want that to happen to you. That's got to be such a shitty feeling. Ugh.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because I'm watching the Arsenal game and I watch them like once in a blue moon.
Yeah, and they just won the league, so
Yeah, I know.
very nice. All right, well, this is getting ridiculous. I need to stop talking about this. All right, I have a whole week of torture. So
Yeah, you do.
so
Mando Grogu tomorrow.
Mando and Grogu tomorrow. Hopefully me and Johnny get something up for maybe some sort of review or some
Yes.
sort of something.
Mando!
That would be really fun.
They all
so.
hate you, Mando.
They all hate
They all hate you, Mando. Firewolf.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to leave them with, Dag?
Hey guys out there, if there's anyone out there that hates current Star Wars, I'm sorry, dude. Genuinely, I am. I just hope one day that you guys can not attack other people for something that other people they have no control over. They're not doing it. They're not making the movies. They didn't make decisions. They didn't buy Star Wars and stuff like that. Just let them do their craft. And there's people out there that love new projects and are really excited for Mando and Grogu, and you're getting really tired of like seeing all this shit online. Remove the app. Stop going on there. Mute stuff. Mute people, block people. Find your circle of people and focus on the things that you like. And I guarantee you'll be stronger for the better. Your experience will be so much better.
Agreed. Well said. Yeah. Hopefully, everybody who's going to see The Mandalorian and Grogu has a great time, enjoys the movie, has fun. Hope everybody enjoys it with their friends and family. I know we will be yapping about it, I'm sure, for weeks to come. But if you don't follow us already, follow us at the Starlight Pod on everything. YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere that you can potentially listen, you'll find us. Dag, where can they find you?
Man, you can find me anywhere, but tomorrow I will be in the theaters, and then Friday I will be in the theaters, and then Tuesday I will be inside the Dark Temple, visited by Mara J, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn. We have the shorts every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we have the Starlight Podcast. Don't forget about that. And there's only one thing I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way, baby.
Let's go, man. You can follow me at Jedi.Connor on everything except for Instagram and Threads. That's Jedi.Connor_. We are grinding. We will be creating more content, especially with the Mandalorian and Grogu coming up in weeks to come. It'll be super fun. The fandom will be buzzing. This little guy above my shoulder will be stealing the show. Not Luke Skywalker. Not Luke Skywalker. We're talking about little baby Grogu there. Stealing the show and stealing money from my wallet with Grogu capitalism. If you're still listening, thank you so much. Make sure you don't work your droids too hard. Enjoy Tycoon Dagovere.
Work them the fuck up.
May the force be with you guys. This is the way. Deuces.